Right. So after discussing how we got here and what the situation is, let's look at the first element. Let's look at solutions. Obviously, we want this to be a solution-driven thing. It's no point to just victim blame and name and shame and what. There's no solution in that. If we can get solutions, then obviously we can have a happier life at the end of the day. So first element to maybe look at, Ian, is to see, and I don't have an answer on this. I'm sure you might have, but what can be done in the formal structure on government side, local government, municipality, and so on and so forth, to assist us in this fight?
So actually, I'm gonna refer to Action Society first. So we've really started pushing this idea of devolution in the South African, or of the South African Police Service. I'm going to explain a little bit more now of what it is. But the reason for this is that we believe that, firstly, if you simply look at this from a political point of view, so firstly, forget community safety structures, we're simply focusing on statutory law enforcement. If you look at the current situation, and we just saw it with the past elections, people in many communities complain about law enforcement not being up to standard. They laugh about the South African Police Service when you speak to them, especially in poor communities. And then they continue voting for the ANC. So it boggles my mind that it works. So what is the solution? Firstly, I think you should get the law enforcement that you vote for. Now, the only place thus far where local government and provincial government has really stepped up in terms of law enforcement was in the Western Cape. Nowhere else have we seen that any provincial or local government really puts their money where their mouth is when it comes to law enforcement. So the example, and just keep in the back of your mind the devolution principle. We're gonna refer to that now. Leading to devolution, one needs to think about, for example, when we use the Western Cape as in its current scenario, you've got a province like this. It's got probably 3, 4, even 5 of the most dangerous stations of the top 10 most dangerous places in South Africa, and they are all within 15 or less square kilometers from each other. You've got literally hundreds of thousands of criminals that are part of gangs, etc., that cause havoc very often. And then you look at the South African Police Service in the province, and it's got 5,000 vacancies. So it's the province in terms of the South African Police Service with the most vacancies. If you look at the UN standards in terms of law enforcement, you should have between 200 and 300 people per law enforcement official or per police official. In an area like Grassy Park or close to Cape Town, you've got 1,800 people per law enforcement official. So we cannot expect for even the good cops to do a good job there. It's a losing battle. It's impossible, and then they still have limited resources as well. Okay. Now, if we go and look at the program that they started, and this is where the devolution thing I think really makes sense, is they started a program in the city of Cape Town called LEAP. It's Law Enforcement and Advancement Program, and they've literally put more than 1,000 law enforcement officials on the ground, but they report to the city of Cape Town, and obviously that reports to the provincial government. But the point is that they're not under the control of the South African Police Service, and these people have been deployed. They are very professionally trained, and they're pushing for this to be increased over the next few years. The challenge that we have is that you and I still pay a hell of a lot of tax that goes to national government. So what it in actual fact means that national government still gets their cut, but the law enforcement change that's meant to happen in terms of South African Police Service on ground level doesn't happen. So that means the province and the municipality now have to take chunks of money from other services they could have improved and they have to push it into an alternative law enforcement program because the South African Police Service aren't functioning properly. So no matter how you look at it, I hope I'm explaining it as simple as possible. No matter how you look at it, somewhere you're still going to lose. Now, let's come back to the principle of devolution. If we can get a type of a federal policing system going in South Africa, it means that the money that is paid in terms of tax to government can be paid to a government that mostly or hopefully knows more of what they are doing compared to many other parts of South Africa. And the model would then encourage them or easily help them to increase, for example, LEAP officials in the province. So you wouldn't be only dependent on the South African Police Service. So that's the one part of the devolution idea. Now, there are many different models, and I'm not a legal expert in terms of that. But from what I understand, there are many other models around that you can, in terms of how you can structure it. The other part is we can say that the South African Police Service in this province falls under the provincial government and not under national government. Because unfortunately, as I said in our introduction to all of these discussions, is that the South African Police Service is a national body, and it's become an iron fist of the ANC-aligned political elite and others. And this, of course, makes it very difficult to ensure good law enforcement. Now, my last comment in terms of the devolution idea and why it can work and should be tested in the Western Cape as a first point of interest compared to the rest of the country, is because it's a deliberate strategy or tactic from the ANC to make the provincial government in the Western Cape look bad by making sure that they've got the majority of vacancies in the South African Police Service, because many people on ground level don't understand that the South African Police Service has has absolutely nothing to do with provincial or local government. They are not controlled from there. So now people are angry with provincial government and local government, and they say, but you've promised this and that. But in actual fact, it is an ANC strategy to destabilize the Western Cape because it is run by opposition government.
Once again, we're back to that. The culprits in this thing is top government, who obviously they have an agenda and a plan which is not caring about us. That's the thing. I would like to entice the audience to please get in touch and ideas, questions, and so on. But get me through to Ian. But please, no, let them come and I will shoot them bullshit. No Rambo stuff. We've all been there. We've all done that. Doesn't help. As I said in the beginning, we need to have legal solutions to this thing. I believe there are ways that we can fight if we band together. So the links to the articles and websites and to get in touch with Ian will be in the description. Please get in touch, become part of the solution, and get talking to Ian so we can see how we can solve this first issue of the puzzle, which is exactly that.